Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is Thursday, October 14th, 2021. Thank you so very much for joining us. Coming up in the news this evening, Ariza purchases government bonds, paving the way for the payment and settlement of the 4% salary increase. President General of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union says regional governments lack the will to settle an issue that leaves former workers languishing in poverty. The National Democratic Congress membership to decide on a new leader at the end of this month. Executive member of the Morris Bishop and October Martyrs Foundation says there's nothing more than lip service given to October 19th. Coming up in around the globe, pressure washing attempt in St. Lucia leaves one man nursing burns from electric shock. Internationally, several people killed in bow and arrow attack in Norway. Coming up in sports, Kenya's Agnes Tirop's husband becomes suspect after the athlete was found dead. And for West Indies fans, the T20 captain Kieron Pollard expresses confidence ahead of the World T20. The details of these and other stories are straight ahead. This is GBN's primetime edition of news.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us with the news in detail. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. Top story this evening, Ariza Credit Union has publicly disclosed its purchase of government bonds to enable the payment of public servants' outstanding 4% salary increase for the year 2021. Public officers are expected to see an uptick in their accounts by the end of October due to this transaction. We get the details in this report from Rena Pear-Thomas.
Ariza Credit Union has come to the aid of the government of Grenada and the public officers as the financial institution purchased $4 million of the government's bond, which were offered to public officers as a salary increase back payment. The bonds offered as outstanding payment for the months January to July 2021 were rejected by the unions in July. CEO of Ariza, Lucia Livingston-Andel, in a phone interview with GBN, stated that by 31st October, Ariza will pay $4 million cash directly into the accounts of public officers.
So we have been approached to purchase $4 million worth of bearer bonds. These bonds bear an interest rate of 3%, and of course it's a one-year bond payable at the end of the year. And we did the analysis and saw it was an investment that we can do, and therefore we agreed to proceed to purchase these bonds and we'll redeem them at the end of the year. All of the payments will be made between now and the end of October. We also have a list of financial institutions to which some employees have had their salaries assigned. And Ariza will be sending checks to these organizations, and they will advise their members and their customers when they can collect their payments or when the amounts will be paid to their account.
The CEO said the initiative is yet another way that Aryza continues to be an ally to employees in the public sector and respond to the needs of its membership in this evolving economic climate.
When we were approached, we immediately recognized that, and we, in keeping with our mandate to support and provide services to our members, that we have to come forward. Public officers are the backbone of Aryza. And of course, we know that without them, we don't have a credit union. And therefore, we do all in our power to provide support at the appropriate time, especially now within the current economic situation.
The government and the trade unions representing various public officers signed a collective agreement in 2019, covering a 4% increase for the years 2020 to 2022. But in late 2020, the government sought a deferral in the payment of increases for 2021, claiming that the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic resulted in a dramatic decline in the government's revenue of more than 50%. However, the unions and some of their membership responded by taking industrial action to demand their 4% increase, doubting the government's ability to pay. The government then proposed that payments would be made in August, but payment for the first 7 months of 2021 was still a point of contention. That is now being settled. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
Still on the labor front, President General of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, Andre Lewis, says regional governments lack the will to bring an end to the Liat dilemma, which leaves former workers languishing in poverty, as one regional leader argues that shareholding governments has no liabilities to the ex-workers. Gerard Joseph has the latest developments.
GTAO President St. Andre Lewis tells GBN that the union, beyond the regional perspective, has engaged Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell to garner any assistance it can provide for local Liat workers. St. Louis says the issues facing Grenadian Liat workers not only include severance pay, which is being dealt with regionally, but also outstanding matters such as negotiated salary increases.
And all of those matters were quantified since last year or even before last year. But given the problems that Liats had been facing over the years, these matters remained outstanding, and then we went into the quote-unquote liquidation of Liat.
The Antiguan government has offered regional unions to pay 50% of the severance, plus lands and bonds. The union leader says the unions have since brought forward practical issues on the proposal to the court-appointed administrator, who has sought further clarification.
Because the question that will arise, or has arisen, is, so let us say workers in Grenada agrees to land, for instance, and let us say the land is in Antigua. And I'm just using this as an example because that's where the directions are pointed. How does a Grenadian Liat worker benefit from land in Antigua?
On GBN's Beyond the Headlines program on Monday, Prime Minister Gaston Brown impressed that this is an extremely lucrative deal, noting that regional governments have no legal obligations to pay.
In terms of any legal liability arising from the collapse of Liat, the governments do not have any such liability. And it is well known that Liat's assets are such that if you sell them on a piecemeal basis in liquidation, they may only get about 5% of their severance liabilities paid.
However, the GTAO president says the regional unions believe otherwise.
All the workers who have been part of the Liat family continue to lavish in poverty from the fact that they have been left unemployed through no fault of theirs. And these workers, not just in Grenada, but Liat workers throughout the region, have contributed significantly to the company. Even in some of the bigger crises of the company, workers made sacrifices in terms of their pay, the benefits, to ensure that the airline stayed in the air. And therefore, there's this obligation that the governments of the region have to ensure that the Liat workers get what is due to them.
St. Louis reiterates that regional unions have not refused the proposal and are still hopeful of a resolution in the near future. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
In other news, the Grenadian public is eagerly waiting to see who will lead the National Democratic Congress into the next general elections. The party's annual convention is scheduled to take place by the end of this month, with several newcomers on board who will be captaining the ship. Chrislina John has been in conversation with the interim leader and former finance minister.
Former Finance Minister Nazim Burke is said to be one of the potential runners for the leadership position for the main opposition National Democratic Congress, the NDC. GBN's efforts to garner confirmation from Mr. Burke have not met any success thus far. According to reports, Burke is not the only one expressing interest in the top position. Presently, Adrian Persuaded Thomas holds the post of interim political leader. In an exclusive interview Tuesday, Thomas remained tight-lipped on his position about vying for the position in the party's upcoming convention. He tells GBN, however, there are newcomers on board, something he says is quite welcomed.
Oh, sure. We have been recruiting a lot of people since 2018 election. A lot of people have come forward. Some are willing to serve in the background, others are willing to serve in the forefront. And we have people who have just joined the party and they're interested in being on the national executive, and we look forward to accommodating them and working together with them in the interest of the party and to make sure that we give Grenadians the best team possible for the upcoming general election in 2023.
Philip Telesford is a member of the NDC and is one of the potentials who will be vying for the leadership. He said that he is convinced that the NDC is the best option for Grenada, even if it's not under his leadership. The party's leader, Adrian Thomas, provided some insight into the upcoming convention.
I am the acting political leader of the party for now, and I'm doing my very best in making sure that the party put the necessary structures in place so that we can give the general public the best leadership that they are requesting.
Did not answer my question.
I think I answered to the best of my ability.
A new executive will be formed at the annual convention, which will most likely be held virtually. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Lip service is continuously being given to the observance of October 19, 1983, the day which marks the demise of the 1979 revolution in Grenada. That's according to executive member of the Morris Bishop and October Martyrs Foundation, Dr. Terence Marichaud. Dr. Marichaud says the foundation is still awaiting the day when it won't be business as usual on October 19th.
October 19th, 1983 is remembered as the day former Prime Minister Morris Bishop, some of his cabinet colleagues and numerous Grenadians lost their lives on Fort George. A major concern is that such an important part of Grenada's history will soon lose its significance. Executive member of the Morris Bishop and October Martyrs Foundation, Dr. Terence Marichaud says October 19th should not just be a national day that is commemorated.
A day like this when the Prime Minister died, a day like this when many of his cabinet members died and many innocent Grenadians lost their lives, is a day that represents probably the most tragic day in our modern day history.
As the countdown continues, Dr. Marichaud says the day must be given the reverence it deserves, whereby government declares it a holiday or half holiday.
I've always said as well that we don't have a single day in our history that has been set aside to observe our history. Not a day in all the holidays that we have, whether it be religious holidays or otherwise. There's not a single day that is dedicated to observing our history and our heroes and martyrs.
Dr. Marichaud, who is also a member of the Grenada-Cuba Friendship Association, says October 19th is no ordinary day in the nation's history.
The same day that Morris Bishop died is the same day that T.A. Marichaud died. These are two of our most important national heroes, and we don't even have a day set aside to recognize them as they should be recognized.
He believes in giving such recognition, it will have significance for the current generations as well as the future generations as they recognize the contributions these leaders have made to the country.
We cannot sweep our history under the mat. Our history is not about glorious days alone. Our history is filled with tragedy as well. And history is important so that we can learn from it. History is important so that we can go forward rectifying the mistakes of the past.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
And that's the end of the first segment of news, but still to come. Government to seek new plan to tackle rockfall in St. Mark as the Western Corridor project stops short of that area. Stay with us. More news is next.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when let you come first. Save energy, save a dime. We choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, make sure you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when let you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when let you come first.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain: you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Hassle-free loans for your every need. Cards have you covered, best believe. Cards ready, cash is for everyone. Not to worry, fast approval. Hurry up and come. We got it all, we on the go. Cards ready, cash you already know. We got it all, we on the go. Cards ready, cash always ready. When you're ready, let's go.
Cards ready, cash ready when you are.
The croton scale insect, a new threat to our agricultural production, is now creating major damage to several plants. Mango, soursop, plums, guava, avocado, and crotons are among the main ones affected. Excessive sooty mold, black blight, is associated with this pest. Take action now. Cut and burn infested fruits and shoots. Do not move infested materials to other areas. Treat with horticultural oils and recommended insecticides. Request assistance from the Ministry of Agriculture. Follow all safety protocols when burning trash or applying pesticides. A message from the Ministry of Agriculture.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
Introducing YouTube and TikTok to the Digicel Prime Bundle. Now get 1 GB daily to enjoy more YouTube. Plus 1 GB daily to like more TikTok videos. It's simply more entertainment bundled together. Get a 7-day bundle for $35 in My Digicel. More apps, more data, more fun. Digicel, better together.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here even when the future seems unclear, because one thing is certain: you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. The Minister of Infrastructure, Senator Nolan Cox, says government will have to devise plans to tackle rockfall in St. Mark after a landslide Tuesday evening brought down rocks, debris and other material from the hillside, which rendered the road impassable for some hours. Chrislina John has this report.
With government already working on plans to remedy the Molyneux land slippage area and work along the Western Main Road corridor, it will now have to rethink strategies following Tuesday evening's land slippage at Mount Pariel in St. Mark. It came as a surprise to many traversing the Western Main Road through the parish of St. Mark, who are bothered about the safety and the stability of the rocks that hang over the roadways. Speaking to Infrastructure Minister Nolan Cox Wednesday, he said they will now have to seek funding for this as a new project.
Unfortunately, the project terminates right at the school, at the secondary school, the St. Mark Secondary School, and as you have noticed, that slippage took place just a few hundred yards past that mark. So that is something that we have discussed just recently this morning, that we're going to flag and raise with our funding partners to see if we can pull that out as a separate part of the project. And if not, we would have to target it for ourselves separately. But fortunately for us, no one was significantly or negatively impacted from that slide.
Minister Cox says further assessments of the area has to be done to determine whether or not a further threat exists. The infrastructure minister says they are looking at the early part of 2022 for the commencement of work on the Western Main Road rehabilitation project. This project forms part of a 26-kilometer project which spans from the National Stadium to St. Mark's Secondary School. It will entail slope stabilization, pavement of roadways and drainage, and culverts will be installed.
We're working speedily with the consultant to have the final designs ready. It's a lot of work that has to go into that project. It's a significant project. I want to say tentatively we are looking at the first quarter, hopefully, to have some form of implementation work on the ground taking the first quarter of next year, and we are working hard to achieve that timeline.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, a few hours of continuous heavy rains on Wednesday evening left many parishes with mudslides, fallen trees and overflowing rivers, making it a challenge for pedestrians and motorists. GBN's Rena Pierre-Thomas visited some of the affected areas and brings this report.
Behind me is one of the areas that was affected by the heavy rainfalls on Wednesday evening. Many villages across the island would have experienced some level of mudslides or road blockades due to that heavy rain. Heavy rainfall for over 3 hours caused rivers to overflow their banks and mudslides that made some main roads impassable for vehicles across the island. Though most of the sites have already been cleared, some level of debris can still be seen as evidence of what occurred the day before. Areas such as New Hampshire, Lassager, Sand River Road, along with other low-level areas were affected. Roving in the parish of St. George, the news team went to Grenville Vale, where officers attached to the fire department were on site cleaning the road from a major mudslide. Officer in charge, Corporal Ralph Rages, said the area was one of 3 sites they visited Thursday morning.
There was a spot on top of the hill. There was 3 spots, but we did 2, and this is the last one here. Right now we are trying to clear the road so that vehicles will pass, because there was a lot of debris from the hill. So we had us to wait a little time to clear up. So right now we're trying to wash out the area so that vehicle will get a full flow of traffic and no accidents. If rainfall and the mud is there, the vehicles will slide off the road and they will damage.
According to a press release issued by the National Disaster Management Agency, the heavy showers on Wednesday were due to a convective activity averted from the intertropical convergence zone. For GBN News, I am Rena Thomas reporting.
This week's GBN's Health takes a look at mental health. Do you take care of your mental health? Well, several health professionals have been urging individuals to attend to their mental health. GBN's Krista Campbell focuses on mental health for tonight's health segment.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Glenwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
World Mental Health Day, celebrated every year on October 10th, is aimed at raising awareness and spreading education about mental health issues across the globe. Mental health has come into sharp focus in pandemic times like never before. As Dr. Evelyn Spencer says, people of all age groups and occupations bear the brunt of the new normal.
In this time with the COVID, see people become very anxious, very, very anxious, and that they cannot function, can't sleep, lost their appetite, and so you may not actually be psychologically ill, but you're very, very stressed.
Several health and other frontline workers, students, people living alone, and those with pre-existing mental health conditions have been particularly affected. Nevertheless, Dr. Evelyn Spencer says that it is imperative to attend to your mental health amid the COVID-19 fallouts.
Our brain is responsible for all that we do or say or see or think. It's the brain that functions there to help us to do that. And therefore, looking after the brain has to be or looking after ourselves has to be a lifelong something, starting with our parents. So mental health, as I say, is just not the absence of or not the presence of an illness, but it has to be a lifestyle where we do certain things that will take care of us mentally, psychologically, emotionally, and physically.
As part of the Mental Health Day, PAHO hosted a live conversation with experts on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on mental health care in the region and the efforts being implemented to improve access to mental health care.
In our region, we know there's still, even though the conversation has improved, has increased in our countries, there's still stigma surrounded around mental health. So we want to hear from everyone. How can we reduce the stigma around mental health and promote mental health in our communities?
Well, if I can go first, if that's okay. Well, I'm a teacher, so I teach second grade, and I feel like it all starts there. You know, from the youngest, from 3-year-olds, teaching them that we all have feelings, we all have emotions. So when we're feeling sad or mad, that's okay. You know, it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us. It means we're human and, you know, our brain is working. And teaching them as well how to cope with these feelings, because in my country, there is a lot of violence. And I feel that we can really change the narrative of all this violence if we implement social and emotional learning, teaching our young people how to be emotionally intelligent. How can they cope with the chaos of this world? There's so much to be angry at. And so how can we learn to deal with that? So I think that's very important in breaking the stigma. You know,
for this week's Health Update, I am Krista Campbell reporting.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Let's take a look at the social media platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
Amia Hamlet from Shantimel St. Patrick was diagnosed with a lymphoblastic leukemia at the age of 3, the news that no parent would like to hear. Her father told the story of how she kicked cancer to the curb and is now a bubbly, healthy 8-year-old. You, our online audience, took to the comment section to celebrate with Amia and her family. Lucy Douglas said, "I got emotional listening to the father of this child speak. It touched my heart. I'm overwhelmed that God answers prayers. Thank you, Lord, for looking over her and continue. Happy she is doing well. To God be the glory." Marlene Julian commented, "Miracles continue to happen in our world today. May God continue to bless your family, especially Amia. To God be the glory." Annette Mitchell says, "God is a good God. Tears was flowing when I looked at this. I've been through this too, and I have a great testimony for what our mighty God can do, is doing, and will continue to do. My daughter is alive and cancer-free too. To anyone going through this or similar, be strong. God has not forgotten." Marilyn Peters also commented, "What a wonderful God. All praises and glory to his name, baby girl. You are a living testimony that there is nothing that God cannot do. Continue glorifying him with your lovely voice." Abby Lambert finally commented, "Amen. God is good all the time. Father, continue to guide her step, O Lord, and all the other kids who are sick, in Jesus' name." That's the buzz for now. Continue to share your thoughts and comments with us on our social media platforms.
Happy for her. Stay with us. Coming up, the addendum list is out and members of the general public are encouraged to scrutinize the electoral list. The details next.
The 30th edition of Waggity Virtual Bingo! Sunday, October 17th from 6 p.m. This time, we're playing for big money, $10,000 US. But wait, that's not all. You can buy one ticket for only $10 US. But if you buy 2 tickets, you only pay $15 US. Now that's a great deal. Invite a friend. Tell them about all the fun and excitement online. Get your tickets from gotofed.com or numerous box offices in Grenada, Carriacou, and Pini Martinique. Or if you're overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Join the fun online Sunday, October 17th. Play Waggity Virtual Bingo. It's so simple and easy to play.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
Showtime shop at Quartz. We got all the things you want. So many ways to shop. You can pick up curbside. It's Showtime shop at Quartz. All the appliances, electronics, and furniture you like. Showtime. Showtime, we got it. Just what you need, yeah. Quartz got it.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
You want a hand sanitizer to do 3 things: kill germs,
be gentle, and to go where you go. You can get all of that in our hand sanitizer. Hard on germs, gentle on hands, affordable. Remember, hand sanitizers contain alcohol. Keep away from heat and flames and avoid contact with eyes. Available at retailers island-wide.
A message by the Grenada Distillers Limited.
Let's get tough on breed your larceny. It will destroy our economy. Larceny threatens our food security. Can hurt us locally, hurt us globally. To all the buyers, ask for license from all produce sellers. To all the people, call 300 for police for them thieving fellas. To all the farmers, please don't steal produce from your brother. Then you sell it to traffickers, hotels and street vendors. Nah, man. Let's do all we can to stop radio larceny. New vigilance, new laws, and a tough judiciary. Stop Grenada's organized business crime. It's time.
To report radio larceny, call 300.
Welcome back to the news. Members of the public now have a chance to scrutinize the electoral list. It has been issued by the Parliamentary Elections Office and is being made available for scrutiny in the various polling districts. Chrislina John sought some clarity on what the addendum list is and the importance of such a list.
Supplementary listing is published for inspection, the raising of claims, objections, and revision. Voter and Civic Registration Officer at the Parliamentary Office, Ferdinand Phillip, explained that the newly published listing is different from the regular publication in that it contains the names of all persons in a particular constituency.
The addendum list basically is a list that contains the names of persons who got registered, and in this case who also got their IDs replaced, because we are also in a replacement process for the preceding 3 months. They normally come out twice per year, one early in April, and that one in April reflects all of the persons who got registered or had their IDs replaced in the months of January, February, and March. And then the second list for the year comes out early in the month of October, and one was, I believe, just posted yesterday. That one again contains the names of only for persons who got registered or had their IDs replaced in the months of July, August, and September.
However, for the Sister Al-Karikou, there has been a slight variation.
However, the addendum list that went out yesterday for Karikou does not contain all of the persons who are registered in the constituency. If you were already registered prior to July of this year, you do not expect to see your name on that addendum list. It is only, again, let me emphasize, it is only for persons who actually engaged the process during those 3 months, July, August, and September. So
he explains the importance of it to the electoral process.
I must just put as a footnote here also, some persons seem to be of the opinion that because we are in a replacement process, their names were automatically removed from the voters list. Again, I want to emphasize that by law, we have no authority to do that. Once you are registered as of January 2012, again, I am emphasizing, once you are registered as of January 2012 and you are on that new electronic voting system, your name remains on the list. By law, we cannot remove your name. What we started to do as of the 3rd of February last year, we started to replace the expired voter ID cards.
Persons who went to the electoral districts to get registered during the last 3 months have been advised to inspect the addendum to ensure that their names are included. Addendum should also be checked to establish whether there is any names on the list which should be removed. The addendum lists have been strategically positioned at parliamentary elections constituency offices, post offices, police and medical stations, and other buildings. Voters have until next Wednesday, October 20th, to review the records and make submissions to the Electoral Office. Christina John, GBN News.
And now let's take a peek through the GBN ISAW lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by Clearvision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it.
Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
A twin golden apple. Once it's nice, you eat it twice. Journalist. Golden apple, or also known as a June plum, is a juicy fruit that can be eaten when green or ripe when yellow. It has a pineapple-like scent with a spiky seed on the inside of the fruit. Just like many other kinds of fruit, golden apple is loaded with vitamins and minerals. It is considered to be a tropical fruit as it is commonly found in several Caribbean nations and it grows abundantly in Grenada. Our ISA reporter says that their twin golden apple was picked from a tree in Rady, Mount Manassas. We thank our ISA reporter for this fruity submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. Sports and around the globe are next, but first, the weather report and forecast.
It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Borrow up to $10,000 for all your needs. School supplies, staycation, home renovations, appliances or furniture. You can have it all with a summer everything loan. With competitive interest rates and same-day approvals, you can't beat this loan special. Not a member? Join today to get onto this exciting offer. It's your summer everything loan from the Communal. Apply today and take advantage of this exciting offer. Visit the nearest Communal branch or call us at 440-1755 for more information. Lending terms and conditions apply.
A disaster or emergency may disrupt food and water supply, so have at least a 3-day supply of food on hand. Store foods that have long storage life, need little or no cooking or refrigeration. Store canned or ready-to-eat foods, 100% canned fruit juices, nuts, crackers, dried herbs, and spices. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 for 18-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Tonight's temperature is expected to be 25 degrees Celsius. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with a few brief to widely scattered showers and possible isolated lightning and thunder. Winds are expected to be easterly to east-southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas will be moderate to slightly rough with waves 5 to 6 feet in northerly to northeasterly swells. A marine advisory is in effect. Tides will be low at 7:15 p.m. and high at 12:45 a.m. Looking ahead to tomorrow, sunrise will be at 5:57 a.m. and sunset 5:50 p.m. Partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and hazy conditions are expected, with a few brief to widely scattered showers and possible isolated lightning and thunder overnight. Sunrise on Saturday will be 5:57 a.m., sunset 5:50 p.m. Generally fair and breezy. Conditions are expected, becoming partly cloudy at times, with a few brief morning and nighttime showers. On Sunday, sunrise will be 5:58 a.m., sunset 5:49 p.m. Generally fair conditions, becoming partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, with a few brief to widely scattered showers. And that's it for tonight's weather report and forecast. The sports report is next. Good evening, sporting fans. Let's bowl off with cricket. West Indies T20 captain Kieron Pollard has expressed confidence ahead of the World T20, set to bowl off in a matter of days on October 17th.
This World T20 is quite different from the previous three, one in 2012 and 2016. How challenging was the lead up to this one and preparation, really? And how confident are you of a successful defense?
To be honest, I wouldn't say, for me personally, I wouldn't say it was challenging. We got an opportunity to play, some sort of cricket, as a team and get to understand, ourselves as individuals and as a team, a lot more. So maybe the results, in the series, might not look to individuals as was great, but I thought we got a lot of information, from that, block of matches, those home series there, and guys going into CPL, as well, and playing for their various franchises. Now guys get an opportunity to play IPL, get a feel for the condition, just like the other teams. So I didn't think it was challenging. It's just a matter of getting back together and pulling back out the notebooks as to what we need to do, as a team, rather than, individuals that were playing for franchises recently and, hopefully put the pieces of the puzzle together. But as I said, we are pretty confident as to what we would have achieved over the last, couple months, as a team.
Moving right along to football, a goal in each half from Kemar Roof and O'Neal Fisher propelled Jamaica to a 2-0 victory over Honduras in their FIFA World Cup 2022 CONCACAF final round qualifier inside Estadio Olímpico Metropolitano last evening. The victory, the first in this campaign, resulted in Jamaica moving off the foot of the points table to 6th place on 5 points, same as El Salvador, with Honduras being the new cellar dweller, as they are now the only winless team with 3 points. Mexico moved to 14 points after a 2-0 win over El Salvador, as the U.S. also moved up by 3 points to 11 after a come-from-behind 2-1 win over Costa Rica. Canada jumped to 3rd on 9 points after hammering Panama 4-1, as Panama were kept on 8 points and Costa Rica on 5. It was also the 3rd win by a Jamaica team in a World Cup qualifier in Central America, and the first under the guidance of a local coach, Theodore Whitmore. And finally, we end with some sad news. The world of athletics is mourning following the puzzling murder of upcoming long-distance athlete Agnes Tirop at her home. Tirop, who participated in the 5,000-meter women race at the Tokyo Olympics, where she finished 4th, was found dead with stab wounds. According to police, the 2-time World Athletics bronze medalist is suspected to have been killed by her husband.
Hope was found dead at her home in the town of Eton, with stab wounds to her chest and abdomen. It is claimed she was stabbed by her husband, who has since disappeared. A manhunt for him has been launched. In the meantime, police say they're working to unearth more details surrounding her death. The 25-year-old represented Kenya in the 5,000-meter event at Tokyo Olympics. She finished 4th in the finals. Just last month, she smashed the women-only 10 kilometers world record in Germany. Sirope won bronze medals at the 2017 and 2019 World Championship in the 10,000-meter event. She also won the 2015 World Cross Country Championships.
And that's the end of this evening's sports report. Stay tuned. We take a look at what's happening regionally and internationally. And now let's take a look at one of the top stories around the region today. One man is nursing burns from electric shock following a mid-afternoon pressure washing attempt in St. Lucia. The incident, which prompted calls for emergency officers to render aid, is being termed a chore that went terribly wrong.
That wire is too close to that building. They have to change that wire.
A freak accident on Wednesday evening has resulted in serious injury to a male Leclerc resident. Community members have described the electric shock of Mervyn Dorville, also known as Kong, as distressing after witnessing his fall from a two-story building within the community on Wednesday afternoon. Dorville was pressure washing the outer surface of a building in Leclerc while being in close proximity to a nearby power line when tragedy struck. One eyewitness, who chose to remain unidentified, commented on the incident.
I believe the man was going down the ladder, so I don't know exactly if it is the ladder that touched the wire or he that touched the wire.
Another resident noted that while the incident was unfortunate, it was not isolated, as a similar occurrence had been recorded in the same location.
It's not the first time. It's when they was building the building, like the man, he had a piece of steel and he's tried to send it up and then it ground. When it ground on the main wire, the man ended up got shocked and he fall down, and when he fall down, like, and then if his feet burst and that he did not die.
Emergency officials transported Dorville off-site. Dorville, who recorded severe burns, escaped impalement on a wrought iron structure at the base of the building and potential sudden death, instead landing on the soil nearby. Kiba Talium, NBC Prime.
Further afield, 5 people were killed and 2 others injured when a man armed with a bow and arrow carried out an attack in Norway, local police said. The suspect was arrested, but the motives behind the attack on Wednesday remain unclear.
An arrow pierces a wall in southeastern Norway. Part of what police say are several crime scenes after a man armed with a bow and arrow roamed through the small town of Kongsberg, about 80 kilometres from the capital Oslo. Over 30 minutes he picked out targets, killing at least 5 people. 2 others were injured, including an off-duty police officer. Witnesses reported people running for their lives. The Prime Minister said the country had been shaken. The attack happened on Solberg's last day in office. Her successor, Jonas Gahr Støre, called it a cruel and brutal act. Police have arrested and charged a 37-year-old Danish man. Police in the Scandinavian country aren't normally armed, but officers nationwide have been temporarily ordered to carry firearms. Norway suffered its worst peacetime mass shooting in July 2011, when a far-right attacker, Anders Breivik, killed 77 people, many of them teenagers at a summer holiday camp. Police are investigating whether this latest attack was an act of terror. Alexia O'Brien, Al Jazeera.
And that's regional and international news. When we return, we take a look back at tonight's top stories. Let's look back at what made the news this evening. Ariza purchases government bonds to settle public officers' outstanding payment. President of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union says regional governments lack the will to settle an issue that leaves former workers languishing in poverty. The National Democratic Congress membership to decide on a new leader at the end of this month. Executive member of the Morris Bishop and October Martyrs Foundation says there is nothing more than lip service given to October 19th. In around the globe, pressure washing attempt in St. Lucia leaves one man nursing burns from electric shock. Internationally, several people killed in bow and arrow attack in Norway. And in sports, Kenya's Agnes Tirop's husband becomes suspect after the athlete was found dead. And West Indies T20 captain Kyron Pollard expresses confidence ahead of the World T20. That's the end of GBN's nightly news for Thursday, October 14th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN's television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh on behalf of the entire news team. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.